What's up, y'all? We back for Ambitions, episode 5. Child, did y'all get into this, hunty? There was more twists and turns than a roller coaster ride on this episode. Lord Jesus. So, get it started with Peters. Peters is pissed that he doesn't have the development deal yet for Thelma's place. So he's having a meeting with Stephanie and her father. I'm gonna call him Dad for now because I don't know his name yet. So he's Dad. When I say Dad, I'm talking about Stephanie's dad. Um, Senior, who is Evan and Rondell's father, who owns the restaurant. Stephanie thought that she had him in the back. She thought that she had him locked. He was gonna sell and go because Rondell had been keeping secrets behind his back. Come to find out, Senior decided not to sell. So Peters was pissed. His investors are getting antsy. They're ready to go with somebody else if he can't get the deal. And so Peters goes in to talk to Stephanie and her father. Basically, he threatens them and tells them, look, if you don't get me the deal, y'all are not representing me in any more of my future projects. So Stephanie runs Peters down. He goes to the elevator. She runs him down and says, what can I do to fix this? He said, I want you to double my salary. And she was like, for real, come on. And he was like, I'm dead serious. I want you to double my salary. So he said, isn't that what you lawyers say? Speak what you want, tell what you want. So he gets in the elevator, walks away, and Stephanie got that look like, you want to double your salary? I'm going to get you double your salary. So Titus goes to visit Amara at work, and he surprises her with her favorite coffee. It's a cute little moment. They act, they're in a good place with their marriage and everything. So they do small talk about his job. And in comes Amara's boss, Karen. And Karen is introducing Stephanie. She said, well, here's one part of your surprise. Amar, here's another surprise. And in walks Damian Collins' child. Titus and Amar, you could have bought them for 10 cents a piece. Ooh, they were so clustered. They didn't know what to do. So they keep looking at this flower on the desk, and I don't know where the flower came from. Titus thought that Damien might have sent the flower to him, but later on, Amara would tell him that it actually came from Karen, her boss. So it did not come from Damien. So Titus and Damien had this little man, testosterone thing, and they both kind of bucking up against each other, saying little stuff. So anyway, Karen doesn't recognize that the two guys are getting into it or anything has happened in the past, that they even know each other. So she takes him out the room and says that she's going to introduce him to the other colleagues in the office. Stephanie and her father discuss Peters, and the dad wants to know, like, what is it that we can counter offer him that he doesn't already have? So, because he owns so much property or has done so many deals in Atlanta, they're like, what can we give him that he doesn't already have? So Stephanie says, well, the only thing that's profitable or, is the concession at the airport, the one that Bella wants. And the dad says, well, Stephanie, this is all your fault because you went behind my back and tried to get Peters on your own. And she said, well, I did it because you left me out the loop with the English Rose deal. So, the English Rose is a development deal that's trying to gentrify the banks, which is where Thelma's place is. So basically the dad tells her, if you don't get Peters back, then you're fired. I'm done. And I know I've said this to you 100 times before, but I'm dead serious this time. You will be fired. I'm sick of you. So Rondell is still trying to get signatures for the petition at the restaurant. Evan comes by for lunch and he sees Rondell and Kent. Kent is the guy who was talking to who was talking about Evan. He's kind of like a city commissioner or something like that. So him and Evan, they got a little bad blood between them. So they kind of give each other that tough guy talk to, and Kent said he just wants to help Rondell save the banks. That's all he's there for. So Evan wants Rondell to be aware that, okay, number one, you got a U.S. state's attorney coming by here asking questions. Now you got this guy who clearly has an issue with me asking questions. He just wants her to be smart. Just be watchful, be open. So Bella is sitting up in her room like Brandy. Y'all remember K. Michelle said that. Sitting up in my room, Brandy. Bella's sitting up in her empty room that the mayor wiped out. And she calls, she gets a new bank account. She makes sure that her name is the only name on it. Her boyfriend Roderick comes over. She tells him she's been robbed, but he knew the truth because remember, he was hiding, waiting. He saw Evan come out her house the last time he came over, they had sex. So he knew they had been sleeping together. And he says, is Joaquin, I can't say the little boy name, Joaquin, whatever. Is he Evan's son? She denies that he is Evan's son, but she does confess about the relationship, and she says, well, he's doing it because he's blackmailing me, he's using me, and I don't know how to get away from him, yada, yada, yada. So Roger is like, well, I'm mad, but I can't stand to see a woman be taken advantage of, so I'm going to take care of this my way. I'm going to expose him for the lying cheat that he is. So Amara tells Damien he needs to leave Atlanta. He says, don't worry about it. I'm not here to break up your marriage. I'm not here to ruin your life. I'm just here looking for a new opportunity in a new city. So Stephanie, she blackmails her lying sister, her soror, her skiwi. And I'm sorry, no offense. I was just doing that. I know sometimes the sororities, they get offended when you imitate them, mock them. Please, I'm not trying to do nothing against y'all, but it's just a little plug right there. So her name is Marilyn. Marilyn is Marvin's wife. Marvin is the owner of Beta New Manufacturing, which Evan is trying to get to move to Atlanta. Stephanie basically blackmails Marilyn and says, hey, remember when you was running around on your husband? Remember when you was out here wilding and drinking and humping and screwing and doing all this stuff? And she says, well, I'm going to flip your whole world upside down if you don't get Marvin. All she really wanted was to know Marvin's weaknesses and Marvin's secret moves. So she's like, well, if you can give me that information, then me and Evan can figure out how to get him to move here to Atlanta. So apparently something happened back in the day when Marilyn was messing around and there was a murder. Marilyn called Stephanie to help to cover it up. Stephanie had the body moved somewhere around a pool. I guess that whole story is going to come out later. And Marilyn just lived her life and acted like it never happened. So Marilyn is like, well, hey, if you tell that, you're going to incriminate yourself too. And, you're going to be just as much trouble as I am. So she's not thinking that she's in trouble. So Stephanie's like, well, hell, that's just a misdemeanor for me. And, probably with what she knows, she can get out of that, get it reduced or whatever. She said, but you will lose everything that you have. You will lose your plush life with your super rich husband. So Marilyn thinks about it. Peters gets an email from Stephanie to propose the retail store in the international airport, which is, the big airport in Atlanta. So what she wants to do, Peters has this bar. So she wants to merge his bar with a restaurant, put it in the airport. Now, Peters is being cautious because he knows that it has to get approved through the city. So she says, don't worry about it. I'll get Evan to approve it. And you just have to come back to Carlisle Perkins. We cannot lose you as a client. So Carly and Lori, Carly is Evans and Stephanie's daughter. She's having a relationship with Lori, who is the Purefort daughter. Carly tells Lori, I feel like all we do is have sex. We never go out. We never do anything. So Lori's like, well, look, we have to play it cool because if people take pictures, it gets leaked to the press, we'll both be jeopardizing our family and our position. So Carly doesn't care. She still invites Lori to come to her monologue. She says it's super laid back. It's a bohemian spot. It's only like real people go. It's not like all the hoopla, So Lori is still like, well, I don't know. I don't trust it, whatever. So Carly says, well, look, I deserve more. I'm better than that. And if you can't, then I'm gone. So she takes her keys and she leaves. Stephanie talks to Evan about giving Peters the concession at the airport. So he tells her, lost your damn mind. And she says, well, look, how about if I tell you I can guarantee Beta New comes to Atlanta? He employs about 2,600 people, which is hundreds of $1 million in revenue. It means your unemployment rates go down, funding for state health care goes up, and I guess that's sexy talk for a mayor because Evan was turned on. He was interested. So she says, well, look, before you go to bed, I want you to come downstairs. There's a special guest that we have. I want you to see him. Boy, Evan could have shit a brick. There was Bella up in his house. So Bella put on this whole sob story about she got robbed and she doesn't know, and she said the bastard took everything. He took everything. And little does Stephanie know that the bastard she talking about is her husband. But I really think that Stephanie knows, because Stephanie is not the type of chick that don't realize that something is going on behind her back. I just don't believe it. So I'm tripping. I can't wait till that whole thing unfolds too, because I wonder if the baby moved into the house and Stephanie heard him say, Mr. Evan, like, how's she gonna react? Is she gonna be like, well, how does he know your name? Where have y'all seen each other before? And he's very excited to see you. Like, y'all have a relationship. So it's gonna get messy. But Amar comes home to a fuming Titus. Titus is hot. He's watching Sports Center. He's trying to he wants to know, did you find out why this nigga moved here? Why is he here up in our life? And so she's denying she doesn't know. She didn't find out anything. And he says, Amara, he's here to ruin us. He's here to get in between us. I don't know why he came. I don't know who sent him, but somebody sent him. He's trying to break us up. And I'm already pissed. We already, Titus is already out the door. Matter of fact, he's so out the door, he says, I'm going for a drive. I'm gone. So Stephanie and Evan make sure that Bella it cuts back to Stephanie and Evan. They make sure Bella has clean towels and sheets for the night, and they invite her to stay. Well, Stephanie invites her to stay as long as she needs to. And I was thinking, why didn't she stay with her mom? But then Stephanie said because her mom lives in the Banks. It's apparently a long drive from where they live. So I guess it's like a Buckhead, Bankhead type thing. So Bella looks like it made me think about the Jeffersons. When Bella laid on the bed, she got that deluxe apartment in the sky. Bella is moving on up, honey. She wants to be in the mayor's house. She wants to be the governor's wife. She wants to be up in it. So Amar's taking a shower while Titus is gone, and she keeps feeling like somebody's in the house. She feels this weird energy. She thinks it's Titus. She calls out to him. He doesn't answer, so she looks around a little bit, doesn't see anything. Now, I didn't see Damien take anything. I didn't see him leave anything, but I got a feeling he planted something so that when Titus gets home, he sees it, and it's undisputed, like he was up in our house. How did he get in the house? So Titus is going to think that Amar's lying the whole time. It's going to be an easy break. Damien didn't even touch her or nothing. He just planted some evidence. Pretty good. So Rondell goes to see Kent to really ask him, are you here for me or are you here to find out about my brother? Basically, is he for real or not? Is he true or not? And so he confesses that initially he really did come to try to see what he can get, any dirt he can get on Evan. So she gets mad and he's like, but now I really like you. And so she tells him, look, it's time for you to show and prove, baby. You're going to have to put your money where your mouth is. And I'm like, ooh, look at this. Everybody is calling their boos out, okay? I need a boo so I can call him out too. Like, where's you at? Where's my dinner? Where's my little gifts and stuff? Where's my little thoughtful sentiment, my little morning text and good night text, okay? So Roger is a sports broadcaster, and basically after his episode, his show, he tells the whole city of Atlanta, well, probably national, he goes on national TV and tells everybody that the mayor was looking at this reporter. He got a picture that he puts up and says the mayor is looking at this reporter a little too hard. He needs to be careful when cameras are around. So soon after that, he go to his car. Evan and his goons are waiting in the garage to beat up Roderick. But Roger was smart. Boy, Roger turned that recorder on that iWatch and it recorded the whole thing. So he's gonna show that it's gonna be some trouble. The mayor might lose his job. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's going down. So Lori shows up to Carly's monologue anyway to show her support, and as they kiss, somebody does take a picture, which is probably gonna get leaked too, and that's gonna be a big mess. So Evan returns all of Bella's stuff. Evan finally breaks it off. He's like, Bella, you too messy. Like, you are too sloppy. Like, I'm trying to keep it cute and mute, but you messing me up. You up in my house with my wife. What is you doing, Bella? What is you doing, baby? Nah, babe, what is you doing? So he says, look, from here on, we're strictly business. I'll still invest in your company, but that's it. So he's like, well, I'll talk to you later about visitation. And she's like, no, if you cannot be public with my child, our child, if you cannot acknowledge him that he's your biological son, then no, you're not going to see him. So Evan leaves and he's got to figure out that whole mess with her. So Damien meets Stephanie in a back alley for the update. And he tries to kiss and flirt with Stephanie, but she's like, not me, baby. You might can get away with that little hussy Amara who falls for them little cute lines that you got, but you will not get me. I am that bitch. Okay, she's Lizzo. Okay, she's that bitch. I'm 100% that bitch. So she ain't messing with Damian Collins. So she said, you need to stick to the plan, break their marriage up, and kill your hind pass right back to Birmingham because don't nobody want you in Atlanta anyway. So, but I was thinking too, I wonder if Stephanie is really trying to break them up so that I think Stephanie knows about Bella and Evan, but she's using it to her advantage. It kind of keeps Evan over there. She ain't got to really deal with him. They just have this little public profile, this high public profile relationship. She can use it for her leverage to get what she wants, but she really loves Titus. So maybe she's letting Evan mess with Bella to take his attention off of her so she can move up in her career, and then she is going to break up Amara and Titus so Titus will come running back to her and she could really have Titus. What y'all think? Do y'all think that that's how the story gonna go? That's my prediction, but let's see. We'll see how the season wraps up. So, cause I don't trust her. I don't trust Stephanie. Stephanie is like Ruthless Records and Death Row had a baby. Okay, if Ruthless Records and Death Row had a baby, it would be Stephanie Carlisle Lancaster. Kent buys out Thelma's place, so he putting his money where his mouth is for his boo thing, so they can have a romantic evening. Now I'm gonna go Golden Girls on y'all. Picture this: Thelma's place, candlelights, wine, Luther, if this world were mine. Kent takes off Rondell's shoes, puts them in a foot soak, and serves her favorite meal: smothered pork chops, macaroni and cheese, and mashed potatoes. I was like, okay, Kent, you did that. You set that mood. He bought out the whole place for the night. They didn't have no customers. He settled that bill in full, cash only. Kaya, cash only. Hey, cash only. And so, but they didn't eat no food at the end of the night, if you know what I'm saying. Kurt. So Stephanie brings Peters the pre-qualification letter from the city's procurement office. And he did a little research himself. He said, hey, I checked behind you. This concession is a moneymaker. It's turning me on. I'm getting hot and bothered. And let's do this thing. So next thing we know, they start dropping clothes. Well, she grabs the little letter opener and she puts it up to him. And he said, you know what? You the second person from your family that done threatened me with this little knife. But she take the knife and she pop his little button open. And honey, they gets it on in that office, okay? Right there on the desk with all the papers and everything. Peter's got butt booted and ass naked. Or like my homie Bernie Mac. Or like my homie Bernie Mac used to say, bucket naked, okay? So my mouth was like this. I was like, no, they didn't. Lord, no, they didn't. Maybe she don't like Titus. But maybe she really do like Titus. But Peters is just a little jump off. He just a little something to hold her over because Damien really could have turned her on. But sometimes the one that turn you on ain't the one that you got to get it from. Ooh, catch those teas. And I'll be back with y'all I'm a little late, but I got to catch up with Saints and Sinners. So I may do a combined one for last week and this week. We went to Busch Gardens last week, so I was out having fun. I didn't have time. And then y'all know about the passing of Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. I'm from the 757 Tidewater area, and we had a vigil for him on Tuesday night. The funeral is going to be Saturday at the Norfolk Scope. It's going to be open to the public. So we've been working on some things. I had the privilege to work with Kim Winbush, KMK Productions. So that was a great honor for me. So I've been a little busy, a little tied up. I didn't have time to catch up. But I will see y'all next time. Comment, like, subscribe. Y'all know what it is. And let's finish up this season strong with ambitions. Peace.